Call this meeting to order. Stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, Oh, Councilor Hearn.
I'm here.
Councilor Smith.
Here.
Councilor Coates. Here. Councilor Douglas.
Present.
Councilor Miller.
Here.
And Councilor Pointer.
Here.
Okay. Everybody's here. County Court. Citizen comments. Do we have anybody in here that has some comments to make? Nobody. Anybody on Zoom?
Don't see anybody.
Wow.
They're on mute. You know,
They're on mute, but they can raise their hand.
Okay. All right, sounds good to me. Consent agenda. Approval of January 12, 2023 regular meeting minutes, acceptance of January 10th payroll reports, monthly update reports from library and planning.
I move that we accept the regular minutes of January 12, 2023, the expense and payroll reports for January, and the monthly updates from the library.
Motion been made by Councilor Hearn, second by Councilor Douglas. All for it?
Aye.
I have a.
No, you need discussion.
How about some discussion?
Yeah. Just a couple things on the franchise fees I see are backwards here. Have we not collected any franchise fees?
No, we have, what you're looking at is which one are you looking at? What are you looking at?
PUD.
Yep.
Cable franchise.
Yeah. So it shows we've collected for the PUD 17,000. We've collected garbage is at, I can't read across the board there. It looks like 10, cable 834.
Okay, I was looking at, as it says variance on the side.
So the variance is what,
Seems like a deficiency.
yeah, so we budgeted, so for instance, we'll do the Central Lincoln. We budgeted 30,000. So far we have 17,000. So there's a difference of 12,000.
I just looked at it.
Yeah. Yep, you're welcome.
Any more discussion? Not hearing any. For it?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
All right. Lakeside Riders.
Oh, hold on, I gotta take her off.
I'm not sure if she was gonna speak via Zoom.
She's here.
She's on there.
Hi, all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Happy Thursday. I'm addressing you all tonight regarding the ATV ballot measure and the proposed route clarifications that have been provided to you in a map by city staff. As you can all imagine, the Lakeside Riders are in full support of option B and C getting added as verbiage for clarification when you work on adopting the new ordinance to include the November 22 ballot language. I turned in a lot of documents that are provided there in the packet for you. And if you go through it, the first document that I'd like to refer you to is our comprehensive plan, page 12, number 14, and then the city policies, number 1, number 3, and number 4, which number 4 states encourage private business and facilities that enhance tourism and recreation businesses, RV parks, and lodging. Then on page 13, number 13 is review city ordinances to determine if there are unnecessary restrictions that could discourage business development within the city. Next, I'd like you to take a look at the document, the City Council work session from June 10th of 2020 regarding ATVs. And quote, the object is to allow dune riders to camp at the county park and Osprey and ride to the route. It also says, quote, the route will also allow people camping at Spin Rail to ride their machines into Lakeside to patronize our businesses. It was always the intention for the route to access all businesses in Lakeside on city managed streets. So then if we take a look at the actual ATV ordinance number 20-297, 70.10, section 7 regarding severability. The provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared severable. This ordinance may be corrected by order of council to cure editorial and/or clerical errors. It goes on with the work session from January 8th, 2020, where the minutes mention new business ATV use on city and county streets in Lakeside, which was the original. On February 12th, 2020, new business ATV access. March 11th, 2020, old business number B, ATVs on city streets. Then you go to June 18th, 2020, where the minutes show any commenting in favor when we all believed that the lodge and Osprey would have access. If that suburban is clear and it ends at Park Avenue and doesn't include the rest of South 8th, Creek Front Door, 10 Mile Grub, and the marina wouldn't be on the route either. Meaning no businesses at the time were on the route other than the, and I don't believe that any of.
Whoops,
Uh-oh.
where'd she go? She just dropped.
It might be her,
Yeah, she dropped. She's gone.
Uh-oh,
She
come
lost-
back.
she lost internet. Her cell service.
Oh, wait, there she is. Hold on. Gotta unmute her. What did you do? Where are you? Wait, where'd she go? There we go.
She's still there?
Yeah, she's there. Oh, there she is.
Uh-oh, went away.
Okay, I don't know where, I don't know where it got cut off, but I was just saying that I believe that and history presented to you, in addition to our comprehensive plan, would make every indication that all of the businesses that were being discussed at the time on city managed roads should be included in this, and as it was always intended. And that about wraps it up, other than we still anxiously await some signage or at least a covered bulletin board at the kiosk. It was approved almost 2 years ago now by council. And that also, if you look at the comprehensive plan, city policies 1 and 6 both mention visitor information. And at the very least, somewhere where we could put a list of rules regarding ATVs in the city and upcoming events. That'd be awesome. I understand there might not be any budgeted money for this until the next budget year, but we're looking at expenditures on other large items, banners and that for the 4th of July, while we're still waiting 2 years now for the approved signage at the kiosk. So even a covered bulletin board would be most appreciated. And speaking of events, I'll let Adam from the new exciting Lakeside Business Owners Group take over and let you guys know some fun they have in store for Lakeside.
Thank you, Shirley.
So my name's Adam Hand, I live here in Lakeside. And as you guys all know, last year Lakeside Riders put on a Lakeside or Experience Lakeside event. And this year they've asked the New Business Association to help them put that on. So I'm here to just kind of update you guys on what we want to do and where we are. And with that, we want to do the Experience Lakeside Festival again. Our plans are for it to be very similar, just some small adjustments from what we had last year. We thought it was pretty successful and we just want to continue on that. We also have a permit request in to put vendors in town for the 4th of July. So we realized that we as a community spend quite a bit of money on the fireworks show and we get visitors that come here from all over. And in the last few years, at least, we haven't done any sort of event or any kind of way to make those folks come to town earlier, have dinner in town, whatever, you know what I mean? And that's the hopes behind that. If we can get some vendors set up in town, some people might come and make a half a day of it, might make a full day of it in Lakeside. We did put some permits in December, and it's been quite a bit harder to get it approved than it was last year. And we just going forward, we're working through that this year. I think we found our solutions, but going forward, we really hope that we have a process that isn't like overly difficult to put on events. We really have a lot of motivation in town right now to make some things happen for the community, and unnecessary roadblocks make that just harder for everybody who's already working their butt off to make things happen. Other than that, I just want to be able to answer any questions you guys might have about these events or those permits, or like whatever we can do to encourage that stuff to get pushed through. Because we have a website set up, we're ready to start selling booth spaces as soon as we can get the thumbs up to know that we're not selling something that's possibly not going to be a product.
You guys have gotten your 50C something or other and everything?
We started the process. We filed with the IRS and got an EIN, and now we have a little packet we have to put together in the next couple of weeks that we'll send off to the IRS, and then they take a look at it. It shouldn't be an issue. It's pretty cut and dry. It's just a matter of getting that packet put in.
You do the fine print.
Yeah, it's really not even that complicated when you get to looking into it. It's fairly cut and dry.
What exactly is it, just the permits that are eventually going forward?
Yeah, right now, well, we've already made quite a few plans. We've got together kind of understand a rough layout of the event. It's just before we can really start committing to spending money, we have to start making money, and the revenue on the event comes from those vendor sales. So that's our very first budget to step off and go forward. And we have vendors right now that are like itching. You know what I mean? They want to set up their season. And if we can offer them, the plan is to offer them this Father's Day weekend, and at the same conversation, offer them 4th of July. So we can get a lot of those folks to commit twice in one conversation. If we get, if we can do it all one time.
On big events, they do take a lot of time to plan, and you need accurate or adequate time to put it together and get things together. So I understand we're on the time frame right now.
Yeah, we're planning what we can. We do. It's just like all processes. There's little steps we got to get over.
Yeah.
And before we start taking people's money, we need to know that, like I said, that we're gonna have permission to use that space, and that the plans we have are gonna work with it. Everybody's involved. One more thing I didn't mention, I should have, is that we want to invite any organizations in the community, any groups, any of the churches, anybody who has a local interest group to come and set up for free. We don't want to charge those groups. We want to plan ahead. We want to highlight the whole idea of the experience or the event is to highlight what Lakeside has to offer. So if any of you guys are involved in anything, Please come, set up, show it off. Let's get some fire department recruitees out there. Let's get some people to work with TLA. Let's, let's get all that stuff highlighted as well.
Good idea.
Yeah, great idea.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, we have resolution 23-01 sewer collections resolution.
You want to stop? Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
So, this resolution is before the council because we have several, quite a bit in delinquent collections that we are unable to, we don't have a policy, let's put it this way. We do not have a standard policy of when we turn people over to collections to collect the delinquent accounts. And because we're not like the water and can just shut people off, we tend to get second fiddle. So if you know your water is going to get shut off, which bill do you pay first? Obviously, you're going to pay your water bill. Sewer, we just can't stop the flushing of toilets easily. There are things that you can do. We are just not set up to do them right now. And so in the past, collections has just been kind of a when you feel like it, or if it looks like they're behind and there's been no rationale. Legally, we need a policy in place so that everybody gets treated across the board the same. So if you're behind a certain amount, you get turned over collections. And so that's what this resolution sets out. The amount is just a figure I stuck in there. That is for you all to discuss. If you think that's an appropriate amount, or you can put it at set it at any amount. I just put it in as a placeholder. The resolution, for those in the audience, it's the amount that staff put in was $500, which on a regular residential account means you're about 7.5 months behind. And so you can set it at whatever you want.
So we're really.
We're at like $50,000 in arrears. Yeah, we have about 55,000 in arrears that we have not collected.
Use that one.
Yeah, and it's not that guarantee that we will, but it allows us to have a policy that we can turn over all of these to collections, and then we had a policy on the books as a resolution.
Do you know how successful collections are on this type of a bill?
It just depends. It's not that we haven't as a city ever turned anybody over to collections. We have and have been successful. Some are, some aren't, but it's just a matter of doing it correctly and cleaning it up on how we do this and what the policy is.
We're looking for some consistency in the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just so that, hey, this is the city's policy. This is what council has set. Here's how we're doing it.
We charge a deposit.
We charge a $25 sewer app fee, but it's not a deposit. It's a sewer app fee.
Oh,
So would a deposit be in the future then?
If deposits are kind of funky, a lot of cities are moving away from them because you have to keep them on the books and you hold them. And then if they move and you give them back, a lot of people are moving away from them. And that's why you go to the sewer app application. Our software right now is not conducive to setting up that kind of a system. It's easier just to collect the sewer app fee.
all right. So, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2023-01. Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilor Miller to adopt resolution 2023-01 and seconded by Councilor Pointer. All for it?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
and I have to.
Yeah, I think there was a
Yeah,
double copy in.
two copies, okay, that's fine. All right, Dyer Engineering, 2023 contract extension for 3 years. You want to shed some light on that?
Yeah, so Dyer Engineering is our obviously our engineer, and Aaron Speakman, who is, I think he's the owner. He's the one we work with the most. We're in the middle of a big wastewater project, sewer project plant, and their contract with us expired, I think, in January, as of January 31st. So we wanted to get that back on the books, and we're extending it as the original contract allows for another 3 years. So locks us into some rates. Find it in my pack.
All right, so it's an amendment.
Yes,
Okay.
to the original.
Discussion?
Are there any changes in this, Melissa?
Just his fees. Yeah. And They are a little more, I will tell you this, on behalf, he doesn't pay me to say this, just as staff, so that you are aware and the citizens are aware. Aaron, the owner of Dyer, he has a connection here to Lakeside. It's near and dear to his heart. He has well, I don't know if I can say, his mother lives here. So he does a lot for us for free, where other engineers would charge you to come out here. He doesn't. And so we are getting quite the deal. And he does a lot for us that he doesn't accept payment for. So I will say that.
I move that we accept the amendment number 2 to the professional services agreement for Dyer Partnership Engineers and Planners.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilor Hearn, and seconded by Councilor Smith to accept the amendment number 2 to professional services agreement. All for it?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Okay.
You want a staff report on this?
Sure.
Okay. So as we all are aware, with the new ballot measure that allows residents and visitors to access the route, we need to amend our ordinance to allow that. When looking over the ordinance, staff realized that commonly when you do an ordinance where there is a route or a map, you attach the map as an attachment. So there is very clear defined of where this route is or where it's going. This ordinance didn't have a map attached to it. The other thing is the language was very not very clear as to what the meaning was. There was a lot of intent going around town. There's as you saw from Ms. Vanel's presentation, the intent of what it was versus what got put in the ordinance, what the city was wanting to do. So the ordinance has to be amended to clarify the language from the ballot measure, but it's also your chance to take any other action you would like. And so in anticipation of your discussion, staff is planning on whatever you decide tonight. I got a map in your packet that actually shows the route as it was designed in the ordinance that was approved, where it goes. It shows option B and option C of what you could do based on intentions or what your discussion is, purely a council discussion. Staff then will bring back a map that actually shows the route, just like what you see in front of you in your packet, to attach as an attachment to the amended ordinance. We'll also clean up the language of what the directions of the route. So there's no question about where the route goes. Well, the other thing that we're going to do is it seems like the second ordinance was brought in and added a bunch of offenses and penalties. And though we do need that section, what we're going to do is, because the state and the county are our enforcement officers, we're going to cite state law instead of list it, because that changes and it's also their citation. So they're not going to use our ordinance when they issue a citation, they're going to use theirs. And so we don't want to put things in our ordinance, and we don't want to have a fee cited, and they cite an actual fee like $200. Those things change. State law changes, county laws change, fees change. And so we're going to reference it. We're going to clean it up and just reference the code that the sheriff and the state cops might use. So this is your night to discuss how you want to proceed with that ordinance. I'll get your feedback, your decision, and then March meeting, I will bring back an ordinance for you to approve based on your feedback tonight.
Okay. Well, my feedback is, I don't see why it ever got approved without taking it all the way to, all the way down South 8 to the lodge, or all the way up North Lake to Osprey. That was the original intent, was to be able to access those businesses, and I don't think it's right to exclude those businesses or any businesses. It should, I mean, if you're gonna make a route access to include businesses, it should include all businesses.
Yeah, we don't really want going up the Dollar Tree though.
Melissa, I do have a question on it. On the map that you put in there, it only shows it going to Osprey on the actual map. Can we, if we decide to change it, can we change it to the bridge? Because you have North Lake Resort that's past Osprey, that's an actual business.
But I think at this point in time, she has expressed not
Yeah.
wanting it to her part.
I
Well,
but if
it's county maintained, right?
I just want to get clarification, because I mean, if we're gonna include all businesses.
Right. Well,
Because she can, because it is a private business, she can say no to it. But I just didn't know if we should take it all the way to the end for future.
Well, the ordinance that was passed is you can ride from her place directly to the
Okay.
route.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way it passed. So technically you could, as
Yeah.
it is right now,
Yeah.
go from her park to.
Alright. That was just my only question.
so ideally, it would go all the way up North Lake to North Lake Resort. And all the way down South 8th to the lodge.
Make it to Ringo's, because Ringo's is at the very
Well,
end.
right, it should go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, Ringo sells gas and, you know, I mean, it's,
I guess it's
And then
Lakeside
this
Marina.
would be an
now.
unpopular
Marina.
one, but I think it should go to Dollar General. We have people staying in Sands. They might need toiletry items, food items. You can get a lot of stuff from Dollar General. And if they need medicine or first aid stuff, it's easy access. Yes, people think that, I mean, right now it's a speed limit. But you add ATVs that I have seen do the speed limit, might slow some people down.
So with it written as it is right now, the way it passed, couldn't you potentially, if you live down there, ride your ATV the route anyway?
No,
Yeah,
no, you can't, no.
you
The-
can, you
the
can ride to
ordinance-
the route, but you can't go the other direction and go to Dollar
Yeah.
General.
Yeah, so like if you lived on King, you have to go from the route to your house. You can't stop at Dollar General or
And
Henne's.
park and hang
Yeah,
out.
no, you can't do that by the
plus the
ordinance.
original ordinance said to all business,
Yes.
all business. So, you shouldn't exclude anybody.
I'm not sure. How long has Dollar General been there?
Oh gosh, like 5-6 years, because I remember being really angry about it.
You're having fun, I guess. I didn't really.
Yeah, it was around 2016 when it
Yeah,
opened.
it's been a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know how y'all feel about it going all the way to Dollar General. I know that wasn't on the ballot. But that wasn't the intent.
I think if we allow it now, I think people in town are gonna like. And not be very happy because that's not what they voted on.
I agree because,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not what they voted on.
Yeah, I think we need to keep it how they voted on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it should go all the way to South 8th to Ringo's, and it
Yes.
should go to North Lake Marina, and that should be the extent of extending it.
So I see that there's only the 3 options. What about alternate route D, where it includes both Osprey, the county park, and the lodge? Why
Well-
can't all 3 be included?
That is your A, B, and C. So if
Could you like do all of them though?
you,
You can't
Yeah.
just pick one, right?
well, no, that's why I'm giving you options. So the red on your map is the actual route as it was approved. The green options, or the blue option is option B, which goes to the lodge or Ringo. I mean, because once you hit, there's some private property there, so it doesn't matter. I mean, you just have to get, there's like, a space that was left out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And then the green one is the alternative route, which goes to Osprey. Your discussion is open for those. If you want to
To add
approve,
those.
you can
I think-
approve
B
the
and C.
route with B and C.
Okay.
And we can bring you back
Oh,
the
that was
renewally
my
rise,
question.
yeah. Staff didn't include any other routes because I guess and I'm speaking purely as staff, so you can disregard, but in my mind is if you open it up to go to Dollar General or down 8th, you're looking at opening up the whole city anyway. And I don't know,
So
I was
Not
taking into consideration the amount of businesses you're impacting versus not impacting to open the route up and have that discussion. So if you want to have that discussion, that is purely up to you. You may do so, and I will do whatever you tell me to bring back in March. And
Right.
so
but stuff.
I didn't put it on there because I just didn't think, yeah.
Yes, you did.
I did say that.
Yes,
But, things that they can get at Dollar General, they can also get at Case.
yes, they can.
And
the case at least is kind of locally owned where Dollar General is.
yeah,
That's a box store.
right.
I'd rather them support a more local based business.
And keep our citizens employed.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because if you
So-
go to Dollar
So,
General, they say,
Mhm.
what about food trucks and the pot store?
Yeah,
People would want right
Yeah,
there
no.
too, and then it's just they keep going. Yeah,
no,
then they're gonna want to go to the gas station and they're gonna be over the
Yeah,
highway
that's-
and it'd be a mess.
yeah, that's way out of our scope.
Would you have to amend this map then and bring it back to us with the route, with amendment to North Lake Resort?
Yeah, so I need a motion of what options you want, how you want the map, and then I will bring back an ordinance in March that has the map with like what you see here, but with just a red dotted line going to those places and language that cleans up exactly where the route is. And then the language in the ordinance about the penalties and fees cleaned up for you guys to adopt in March.
Make a motion to accept the alternative route. C, putting Lakeshore Lodge, Osprey Point on the route, and going all the way up to North Lake Resort.
All right, motion's been made by Councilor Douglas. And second by Councilor Pointer to extend the route. Alternate route B and C. And to North Lake Resort. And everybody for it? Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
I would also like to make a motion that we have the ordinance cleaned up as far as the penalties and citations to match the state and county ordinances and not have any direct prices or penalties.
Yeah, I'll bring that up for you guys.
And I'll second that.
I don't need a motion for
You don't need a
that.
motion
No,
for that?
I'm, you're gonna vote on it when I bring it back in March. Yeah,
I mean, we've.
I was letting you tell. So we have 7-0. Douglas moved, Pointer second, and you actually have an option. You're doing option B, C, and a D.
Yeah, and a D.
Yes. Okay. Okay,
And an EF. Okay. Fourth of July light and banner purchase. Melissa?
So a couple of council people had expressed interest in possibly getting the Christmas lights across the road were a big hit. And we heard a lot of positive feedback about having them up. And the thought was our two events, big events or big things for the city where people come in, where Christmas and then 4th of July obviously is the biggest. probably bigger than Christmas. So we get a lot of people. I get a lot of phone calls starting January 1st. When's 4th of July? 4th of July. And so Osprey sells out real quick. I know that. They've called me, when is your dates? It's just a thing. People come here for 4th of July. We have a nice firework display. They're going, not very many cities are doing them anymore. And so some of the counselors thought it'd be great to have a 4th of July banner across the road and maybe some banners. So I put in your packet some pictures. I will tell you, surprisingly enough, they're more expensive than the Christmas ones.
Yeah.
I got prices after the packets went out. There is a catch. Our tourism fund, we've been spending money out of it, which is good. It's what it's supposed to be spent for. So it's not like you're abusing the fund. But I will tell you that we are getting low as far as where our funds are. So right now, if you want to purchase a skyline for over the road or some banners, we would have to dip into our contingency. I put $50,000 in contingency. And it's not a bad thing. That's what contingency is there for. If you feel like you need to use that money, we can. There is some state law caveats with that. We can only use 15% of that the total amount of our total fund, contingency fund. So basically, we would only be able to use $25,350. So if you buy these skylines, we'd have to do a resolution that would come to you. You'd sign off on the resolution that we're going to pull those monies from contingency, move them up into the line item to use them for the skylines. Not a big deal, not scary. Anything more than that, and we would have to open up the budget. And that's a public hearing in a different process that I would prefer not to get into. It's not bad. It's not a problem. It doesn't, we're not doing anything illegal. It's just a process, and it's more of a process. So it's up to you. You had some pictures there. I can give you prices if you all decide on one that you want. I can tell you how much it is. I don't know if I want to go down the whole entire list for you unless you have, but I can,
What is, how much do we still have in the tourism?
probably not any to spend on this. It would have to be out of contingency because we're using the 50,000 we budgeted for the branding and logo and visioning initiative. And then we spent for the Christmas. And so we're getting kind of low in our little funds, and which isn't a big thing. I just didn't know these were going to come up, right? So I wasn't budgeting for this. Like I said, there's a reason for contingency. We put that money in there in case we might use it. It's just we want to stay within our guidelines.
So if we approve, push these permits through for Experience Lakeside and 4th of July, I think it would pay for itself.
Well, they don't.
Not obviously right now.
What I'm not following.
But people coming in.
Yeah, maybe spend money, stay at. hotels.
Yeah, you just remember that money coming, even if it's more money coming in, it doesn't help us. We can't spend it. The money budgeted.
Right.
Yeah. You're saying, yeah, it's worth the value of buying it is what you're saying. Yeah. That's up to you.
I just want to put it out there that there are other options as well. We can put a very colorful, attention-getting banner across there for $400 or $500. So that's an option as well. We don't necessarily need to spend thousands of dollars to put something across the street there.
So do we have a-
What is the price range on these banners in the ballpark?
So the skylines are depending on the foot, the 20 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 36. If you went for a 36 foot, for the one that does the animated fireworks, that big one, that one's 14,000. It's on sale for 14,000. You'd have to purchase it by 28.
Real fireworks.
I know. I told you, it's very interesting that the prices are so high. The skyline's just the regular United We Stand, or those are in the 3,000 to 5,000 range.
About the same as the Christmas.
Right. They're on sale though through 2/28, so.
I would say that those are probably the best option.
Yeah.
And not. the
Do we have to
14.
And of
have,
course-
light- do we have to have a lighted banner there that does?
No, it was just cool.
You guys, it's all on you. I'm just bringing you options. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 If you use local handmade apparel to do like our banner work,
Mhm.
I don't know if we have any handmade apparel banner makers.
And he's just trying to reinforce the point I was trying to make earlier.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
whether you use my company or any other company, you know what I mean? We can put a really nice decorative banner up there. We can even put lights that we already own across there. You know, we can decorate it and make it look nice as a community.
I think it would be prudent to look into that a little bit.
I think,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Other options.
Yeah, I agree. Just kind of, we just put that money on Christmas. and then let you go.
Put on.
We have a lot of things going on.
I know. We clean the whole city.
Make a motion to turn it down.
No, we just don't have to do.
I think we should look into what the Lakeside business owners can offer.
I think so. I agree.
And do we want to revisit it then?
I think if it's over a certain amount, though, we have to be very careful on, you get in. Not that I don't want to use locally, we need to, but we do have to be careful about amounts of money and bids and where we stand with using. What, yeah, it's, never mind, we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
There are several other options.
Yeah,
to look at,
yes,
is the whole
yes,
point.
yes,
Adam being one of them.
yep.
Put a bid or something.
Okay. All right, so
Just clarifying, because I need to know which direction to go in. What you're saying is, yes, you do want something,
we do want something, but
but not lighted
not
Just
lighted and
banner.
maybe use a local, check local option.
Okay,
A less expensive option.
Yes, less expensive.
But I do think the poles need something after I went through all the effort of putting the brackets up.
Yeah, agreed.
We should hang something on the bracket.
Yes.
I also identified a source for those that was what seemed incredibly cheap just before the holidays. It just was bad timing to get those put up. The business association, I think we totally had the intention of come spring, putting something on those poles.
Yeah, I mean, we got so many holidays, you know, Easter and
Yeah, can just get the first batch going in spring, it was our thought.
Okay.
decorate the town.
I love where the town's going, so. All right. Laptop computer purchase from mayor. I asked for a laptop because of traveling that I'll do, and I don't really want to take my personal laptop or put city information on my personal laptop. It's just bad juju, so. I did contact Talk, explained what I wanted, or what I needed. And they gave us a quote, which I gave you guys. First, they gave us a quote of a desktop, and then I got to thinking, it's really hard to take a desktop with you to a hotel. So I had her change it to a laptop, which I believe came out a little bit less.
I have the actual, it's $15.90.
Yeah, that's what the laptop is. But we wanted to break that out for you guys. Want to be as transparent as possible, and this is not for personal use. But there are some things that the city requires. They put on software that if something happens, it's lost or stolen, they can strike it completely clean. Has to have, of course, antivirus subscription, and it has to have it has data files only backup, which is like $10 a month. But it also has to have Office. A lot of our stuff, everybody uses Office. It's in, I mean, our budget is in Excel and the laptop itself. It just had to have enough memory and stuff to be able to do what we needed to do. But that was the total, was $15.90. That was $10.79 for the laptop. $12 for the antivirus. And it's $60 a subscription for if it's lost or stolen, they wipe it clean. And then the Office 2021 Pro, which is $439, so it came to $1,590. So we just wanted to let you know that that was ordered through CompuTalk, who we use, and it is being set up for use here, not just for me. Somebody else can use it if they need it. But he's thinking I have to take my personal laptop with me because there is no computer back there.
Are there any,
There's no office back there.
are there any requirements as far as the city's bound to as or accessibility to say that computer since it is city owned? If, you know, I don't know if there's if someone says, you know, we need access to that computer right away and Sherry's gone somewhere and it's not available. Are we, is that gonna be ever be an issue?
She will sign a form that talks about what she can put on it and do on it. And then, no, it actually will be to her. It will be a laptop she uses while she's in office. We won't use it as staff. It will be with her.
I
She will sign
understand
a
that,
form.
but my question was,
Yeah,
is there any rules that say that that laptop has to be accessible at any given time?
that's not the intent because when you give them to them for use, we do have the remote wipe. I guess the form that she signs allows us access to it.
Correct.
But it's pretty much going to be hers while she's in office.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just asking if,
Yeah.
if we're gonna get in a pickle by someone saying, you know, need
Now,
access to that computer right away, and sure, it just happens to be out of town.
there wouldn't be a reason we would really. I mean, she has to sign a form about what she uses it for and what she can do. If it's, you know, I guess if there's something that comes through in the backup or something, then, you know, we can.
Well, I know there's programs that they can
Yeah.
go into your computer and check it all out, what you have.
Yeah, there'll be backups. There, it backs up daily. Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
was accessible at any time.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just don't want the city to get in trouble
The-
for not having information available to.
Right.
No, it's
the
not.
Public.
It's not for that. It's for her to use. I mean, it's not anything, it's not expected that if she's on vacation, somebody can't say we want access to her computer. That's not how it works. It is a computer that is checked out to her. She signs a form of what she can use it for, what she can't use it for, that she's responsible for it. And then it's basically hers. I mean,
I'm
we
just
have to
asking
watch
about
it, yeah.
Are there any laws that say that has to be accessible?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
What made this computer be accepted? I get all the programs, I'm not worried about the programs. Take my computer here, it has 16 gigs of backup data, I bought it at Walmart for $250.
Yeah.
So what makes the $1,000 computer more, I guess, better for what she needs it for than like a basic computer with the same program and software? Because I have Office and all that stuff on all my computers. I think I paid maybe $900 for my desktop I use for my business.
I think and this isn't going to be a good answer, but I think it basically is cities and governments, you're at the will of your IT person. And it has to do with their access and how they and what programs they can put on it to make their lives easier and what they're willing to deal with. And so you're kind of at their mercy. And if they say, this is the computer you need or want, and we can put this software on it and it runs well, and this is the remote we have to put on it. I don't know if remote would work on that. I don't know. I'm not an IT person, but
Because I just see.
I'm not an IT person. And in every city I've ever worked in, the IT people say, here's what you get, here's what you
Well,
need.
I
here
see,
it
I
is.
see for the price
Yeah.
that, since everybody here that uses a
Yeah.
laptop has bought their own, that for that price, we could have probably bought every council member a laptop to share with the planning commission or something, you know? That way
You
everybody can
can't-
be digitized versus just the mayor.
So in governments, when you assign a laptop,
Mhm.
you don't swap them out because then you can't tell if something has happened on them. You are assigned to, and yes, I work for governments where we
Yeah.
do, we buy them. We,
Tablets, Chromebooks, something.
I don't
for
know
everybody.
that, yeah. Yeah, and but what happens is you get them, you turn them in, they get the packets put on, they're not really used for much. And if you have your own, so yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just asking the same questions that people in the community are going to
Yeah.
ask. They're gonna be like, why does she need this $1,500 computer? I just would like an explanation while we're here. As to why. Just, I see it a lot.
I reached out to our IT and asked them, and that's what they brought to me. I had offered to buy my own, but that wasn't really right because, I mean, I'm not gonna buy one and then be told what I can and can't do on it, so.
'Cause I know mine I purchased solely for this because I don't want to sit here and dig through like 112 pages of paper.
Yeah.
So,
You know, and mine, I mean, it's got everything to do what I need on it, and I didn't pay $1,500 for it, but again, I reached out to our IT, and that's what they led me on. So they gave me several options, and I didn't choose the highest. There was one that was like, I could have really went wild, but I didn't. I just chose what they recommended that the computer had.
okay, thank you for the explanation. I just know people in the community are gonna
Yeah,
wonder.
I know.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Where would this come from?
Operating supplies, I guess. I wasn't expecting it in the budget, so we'll take it out of probably operating. Well, we have it in there. I mean,
any more discussion on this? Okay.
Any more questions?
Okay, all right, we'll move on.
we need a motion. I gotta have a motion for that
Oh,
purchase.
okay. Need a motion to purchase.
I'll make a motion to purchase a laptop for our mayor out of the office supply fund.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's been made by Counselor Coates and seconded by Counselor Douglas to purchase a laptop. And everyone for it? Opposed?
Hey,
All right. Excuse me. Committee reports. Airport? Melissa?
They were supposed to have a meeting, February and then March. I'm not sure what we're doing.
Okay. Watershed. Councilor Miller?
we've been postponed until next 21st.
Okay.
No meeting this.
All right. Water district.
Meetings next Tuesday.
All right, 10 Mile Lake Association. Do we have somebody for that?
I don't think they have it at the same night as the event thing. We were there.
There's
Oh.
a couple of us here, but you guys have it.
Oh, yeah.
From what I gathered, they were happy the way the water
Yeah.
was going and their dam was damming and
When they just got the lake cleanup coming up as well.
Yes, that's right. You are correct. All right, fire district?
Well, I actually have a report. We met last night, discussed the the possibility of a north side fire station in the future, which is an ongoing discussion. We had a discussion of finances that are all in order with no issues. There are 57 calls last month. 4 of them were fire. The rest of them were various kinds of assist calls. We do have elections coming up for fire board. If anyone's interested in that, there's 3 positions open. Contact Coos County for application. And that is about it.
All right. Lakeside business owners.
Yeah, I paid attention. They had a get-together meeting at the lodge on the 1st, I believe it was. They discussed the Million Lights of Lakeside event for Christmas that they had, and all the stuff that was going on. Evidently, people really like the reindeer, but the reindeer was really expensive. Then they discussed going forward with the organization of the group, electing board members and the 501, 503, 501c. 501c. I get them always mixed up. Then they talked about the upcoming events for the 4th of July and the Experience Lakeside, and they had a presentation from Hauser CERT and wanting to get the businesses and other people involved in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It was productive.
Very good. City manager report?
Thank you, Mayor. So just for coming up in March, Dyer Engineering will be here to give you a update about the sewer plant project. With that, we would like to let the council tour the plant because it's a perfect time. They'll be here. We'll be getting a big update. And then it's important, especially for the newer counselors, to see the plant, where we're headed, where we're going, where we are. Seeing it is impressive. It's eye-opening. So we would like to do that 5 o'clock before the next meeting. So expecting a quorum, I will agendize it as part of our meeting. That does mean that the public can attend also, so we will be prepared for that. Yes. Yes, he does now. No, he knows. I do discuss things with stuff. No, we're excited. He's excited. He's like me, so I get to talk the city stuff. When he can talk sewer, he's excited. So it's a good thing. So we'll have that. So look for that, and please RSVP if you can, so we know how many to expect. We know there's, the option with the public, but we'll be ready. SEI commissions, that's the Ethics Commission. If you have not opened up an account or started an account with them, please go do so. In March, it opens up for your survey that you have to do. That is required by law. They do not play around with this stuff. They will give you a chance. They'll open it up. They'll have it open for a couple months or a month, and then they'll be like, all right, and they'll come after you. And it's like $100 a month fine or week fine, or I don't know. So make sure you guys do that. 4th of July. 4th of July, the barge that has the fireworks. Every year Ringo's done it. And of course he has sold the company. The new owners are willing to let us use the barge, but we need people that are going to do that. It's my thought as a city that we do the fireworks, we need to be in charge of the barge, and it just needs to be an annual thing where we know who's doing it. We know what's happening. So I'm not panicking in the office trying to figure out, do we have people and not know what's happening around that. So we have talked to the fire chief, and Chief Roberts has expressed an interest in helping and partnering, which I am so excited about. We've been having lots of discussions. I love it when we can collaborate. And so he's willing to get on board. So their guys and our guys are going to do the barge probably from here on out every year. We'll borrow the barge. I think we should be buying our own barge at some point, but you know how that goes.
Those are expensive.
They're very expensive. Well, they're more expensive than lights. So anyway, that is what's happening with that. So we'll tell you more about that as it gets closer, but the guys are excited. So doing that. Also, the wastewater, themed. Rick, our wastewater supervisor, went and took 2 tests, like within several months of each other, real quick, and got his cert 2, which he had had and lapsed. So he went and retook it, got 2. So we no longer have to use our consultant to write him a check every month, even though he never does anything and he's not here. So this is really good. So we don't have to use his certificate anymore. We are solid. We are good to go, and we have our certificates needed. So kudos to Rick.
Yes.
And he is just fabulous. And if I don't give him enough kudos, the man knows wastewater really well, and everything we're trying to do at City Hall, he is doing out there at the plant, and he is fabulous. He's cleaning up. Every once in a while, we get an email from DEQ with something that happened years ago, and he's cleaning those up really quick. And so if you haven't stepped into it where he he's dealing with loads and loads of backlog too, and cleaning up those messes, and he's getting things in safety and the reporting and CIPs. And so it's just amazing to have somebody on staff like that. So we're excited about that. The fence project at the airport, it's completed, it's done. We are done, and we will be getting reimbursed soon. So that's one off our plate. The railroad project will be starting this month and should be done by the end of March. So we'll have that railroad project done, and that will be off our plates. So things are happening, moving along. So that's good. I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Mayor and council comment. Councilor Hearn.
All right.
Hi.
I had the opportunity to go to a CCD small business workshop on Monday. CCD stands for Coos, Curry, and Douglas counties. It's a business development corporation, and they have lots of money to help small businesses and individuals to go into business. And it was very eye-opening about how much money they do have. If they don't have the money, they know where to get it. So I would suggest anybody, I've got one business card, but I can send it to you or whatever. And then there's also South Coast Oregon Connects. It's connecting Oregon's Coos County community. They will post online on Facebook and other brochures and stuff like that. If you have any activities coming up and whatever, they help you display them and promote them and tell you ways to do it better. So it was really a fun workshop. And if you have any opportunity to go through a CCD, we have a local gal that would just love to come and talk to you. And I want to thank you all for the work on the airports or the fences and stuff like that, getting it all together, because I know that was on the books for a long time. And thank you for keeping my husband busy. That's for Councilor Miller. And that's all.
Councilor Smith.
No, I don't really have anything. Just like to say thank you for everyone who showed up. It's nice to see faces in here for once. It's been empty for quite some time.
Councilor Coates.
Just one thing. The fire department is trying to get donations and collections of Easter candy for Easter egg hunt. And as a person who knows how hard it is to get candy in this town donated, I suggest everybody at least go get a bag of Easter candy and donate to the fire department.
Do we take it to the fire department?
Yes, yeah. Saw it on Facebook, thought I would put it out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilor Douglas.
Well, I was gonna hold out for one more meeting, but I don't think I'll be. This will be my last meeting. I am moving out of city Lakeside. So I can no longer be sitting up here. So I'll miss it. Just started and thank everybody for the opportunity.
Okay.
That's what happens when you get married.
Oh, well, that's good. Councilor Miller.
Well, good luck in whatever you're gonna do. And we'll miss you. Thanks for everybody coming up here and showing some interest in the community. That's big. Just- Hopefully it's just the start of it. Could be infectious. Tell your friends.
Councilor Pointer.
Well, I'm very glad to see events planned and starting to take place again after a couple of pretty dry years. Glad to see that. I would like to see each counselor have a tablet or some sort of computer to look at the minutes and such on. We're receiving those by email pretty much right now, so you need a computer to do it. And I think things are going fairly well, except for losing a counselor here tonight, and we've got to replace her. That's a rotten thing to do to it.
Not to make you feel bad. All right, well, I want to thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for the support. I'd like to see more. So yeah, invite your friends, tell your neighbors, come be part of it. We're trying to make things better, make things more transparent. I would like to thank each and every one of these guys for everything that they do all the time, attending different trainings and different things that they go to. And thank you, Melissa, for your dedication and work on the fencing project, the railroad project, all the other projects that you have.
Not mine.
Including us as a project. And with that being said, at this time, the Lakeside City
wait.
Council.
Hey, Mayor, can we, before you do that,
Sure.
discuss how we're going to take care of the vacant council seat?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw surprises at us, we gotta move. No,
Yeah.
I just
it's
think
like,
we're heading into budget season, and I think it's very important we get somebody on as soon as possible because of budget season coming up and the role we're on. So
What-
no offense to you, I think you should stay. You have a second chat. I mean, the meeting's not over. I know.
What is the process of posting of a vacancy?
Mhm. So
Yeah.
if we do that tomorrow, if I post tomorrow, which I don't have anything, I have to go, we have to write something up. We have to post tomorrow. How long
Yeah.
do we keep it up?
We would like to have somebody seated by the next meeting, right?
Is there-
I would
is there
think so.
someone That has to be posted.
No. No, technically you could appoint someone tonight, but nobody should do that. So don't do that.
No.
There's no,
The next meeting for 9.
yeah, but you have to have time
We've
to,
got time to go over the apps and talk to people.
February 30th.
February 30th.
Yes.
What if we did like the Tuesday before the meeting? Or is that planning?
We could hold a special meeting.
Yeah.
We could call a special meeting for an appointment or for interviews, right?
I mean, yeah, and the process is up to you. So you can, couple different ways you can do it. You can post it for as long as you want and take applications and hold a special meeting, go through them, interview. You can post it, take applications, have them in a packet, and just appoint somebody through what those applications by recommendation of the mayor from what you see in your packet. However you want to do it. I've seen it done several different ways, so it's up to you guys.
I think we should give
As a
ample
body.
time, posting of ample time, so someone's interested, sometimes people have to think about that for a little bit too, so.
Yeah.
I don't think it wouldn't hurt to be shy one counselor for one meeting, but.
We can do that.
Well, then you're talking about April and you start to get into budget orientations and budget. And if we want to get them in and get them some training or to get them caught up, I mean, again,
I
it's up
think we
to,
should have some bigger plans.
Mhm.
That way they can get a meeting under their belt before budget.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we only have 3 weeks before it's the March 9th meeting. We only have 3 more weeks.
One meeting is not gonna make the difference if someone's not even involved in the budget process. One meeting before the budget starts, I think. Huge difference.
Yeah, but I think in the March meeting though, we're gonna be revisiting the ATV route and stuff, so it'd be good to have a full council.
yeah, and I think there's some other things coming up that are gonna be pretty important.
Can we move the meeting back a week? Give us a full month.
No, on the 16th, I believe there is a
planning commission meeting, I think. I don't know.
I think I just posted that, so. I don't know, we can keep it posted till the 24th. And if we need to call a special meeting, we can, depending on the applicants we get or applications that we get,
Any, or we might get 50.
yeah,
Mhm.
just never know.
And it's a 2 solid weeks. That sounds good. To have it posted. and it's
Yeah, that'd be 14 full days to have it posted.
I would think most people interested are gonna act on it quickly and.
Oh, yeah.
Drag their feet.
definitely.
I'm sure there's probably people right now in here that are going, I know some people, so.
It's just going nowhere. Okay. See what you did.
That's prolonged waiting.
So we can do it. I say we do it till the 24th. Keep it posted till the 24th. And have them in by that. Yeah. And then that'll give you till the 1st to. If we need to call a special meeting, if not,
The next meeting is what date?
The 9th,
March 9th.
March
Yeah.
9th.
That's why I was thinking like Monday the 6th or Tuesday the 7th. would be a good time. Right before the meeting.
Does planning commission meet on the 1st and, are they on the
Third.
1st?
It's the 1st and 3rd Thursday.
So they will be on the 2nd. I was
yeah,
gonna say
they'll be
they
on
meet
the 2nd and 16th. Yes. Gosh. Well, I would say we do that. Keep it on posted till the 24th. And. Gosh. That makes it kind of hard. What's on the 9th?
Our meeting.
Oh.
Our council meeting.
The other thing, so the March 9th is the meeting where you have the tour at 5 o'clock too, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
sewer plant and the big sewer update and all that, so.
Someone else here would happen.
I was gonna say you can meet before the meeting and then appoint somebody and have them sit that meeting, but we'll be at the plant, so
Yeah,
I don't know what your schedules are, if you can do a 4 o'clock meeting, but that sounds kind of like a long,
A lot of people work.
that sound, yeah, yes.
like an early meeting, like on a Friday.
Like the Friday before.
Like the 3rd.
Oh, yeah, you guys, yeah, you close at 12:30, but that's okay.
You can do a meeting whenever you want.
So we can do a special meeting on the 3rd.
Mhm.
Okay,
I just have to post it 2 days in advance, yeah. Friday.
Friday, what time are you suggesting? 5
Oh,
p.m.? That's a long time. I think we should. Melissa's like, hey, I gotta go home early and they come back.
It's okay.
I work plenty of hours. It's okay. Whatever time you want.
Unless you want to do it on Wednesday, the 1st.
Don't look at me. You guys.
I'm open.
I'm open.
You open Wednesday, the 1st?
As long as it's after 4:30 p.m.
I won't ask you because. What's the problem? Connor, are you open? Tom?
First.
Yeah.
First.
Wednesday.
Wednesday's the
What time?
3rd.
Well, you-
We're all open, so what time could you make it?
I at the earliest.
If we went like 5:30 to make sure it's not.
5:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the first.
An update for modifications. is
24th.
24th. Do we have a specific time they have to have them in by the 24th?
At 5
City Hall
p.m.
closing.
Oh, wait. City Hall closes at 12:30.
12.
12. So by noon on the 24th.
That's a really big day too.
It is.
I may not
That's on
be
St.
here.
Patty's birthday too, so.
Cupcakes. She'll say she can.
But
So-
Yeah, I look like I can use
It's gonna be
cupcakes,
by
don't I?
noon on the 24th.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way I can put it on social media.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, all right. Now,
Now,
now.
okay. Now, the Lakeside City Council will now meet in executive session according to ORS 192.6602 E to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to negotiate real property transactions. I should read the whole thing?
Yes.
Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive sessions. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. No decision may be made in the executive session. This concludes the live stream portion of our meeting, and the meeting will be adjourned immediately following the executive session.